All right, as I've been doing for most of the teams, doing a little end of the year, last game, what kind of went wrong to send them into the offseason. So today we're going to take a look at the Houston Texans. Man, this was just one of those things where the Texans had an unbelievable year. Young coach, young quarterback, young pieces around the board, and it just felt like it had kind of run its course at this time. They weren't quite ready to compete at this level in this moment, which is fully to be expected. Went further than anybody expected, did some great things, but just seemed a little bit overwhelmed here. So as I do with all these tapes, we're always trying to take a look at the details that make the biggest difference, okay? So let's get going here. And so here's what we're going to have. We're going to have a concept on the bottom that I call chin. So it's a choice route, and an in. And then on the top, a play that I call pop in, which is an in, a pop, and a flat. Okay, so a pop in, so that's pop in on the bottom. I have chin over here. Okay, so first thing that I'm looking at, you notice that we've got two in routes on both sides. Okay, so the first thing that I'm always looking at when I've got in routes is does the other team have a safety, like a quarter safety that's sitting inside that can take away and drive on the in route? Okay, so they really have a safety on both sides that can do that. So I don't really like the in routes here unless I feel those safeties have gotten a lot of depth and there's a window there. Okay, so let's say we just X out the two in routes. Now we've got to make a decision on which side we want to go to from there. So we've got the choice down here on the bottom, or we've got a pop and a flat to the top. Okay, so for me, I'd rather not depend on a back having to win on a choice route against a linebacker. I'd rather be able to isolate one linebacker with two on the top, being able to work him inside out with the pop and the flat. But doesn't mean you can't go down to the bottom and say, hey, my back's going to win on the choice route. But that's what happens here. He looks to the choice route here. Choice route's covered. Can't really throw the in because the safety's sitting there. And you look up at the top, isolate this guy, probably throwing the flat route up to the top. So it really just comes down to preference. And for me, it comes down to numbers. When I can get 2-on-1 and feel like I can get a definitive read off of one defender, I'm going to go to that side every time, as opposed to counting on one guy winning at all times. Okay? The next thing to it, I've talked about this a number of times with the choice route. I hate running a straight stem on a choice route. So a straight stem simply means I'm running straight up the field. But when I run straight up the field, what you notice is I don't threaten the linebacker, right? You see Patrick Queen right here. What's he do? He does nothing. He just sits there and waits because I haven't forced him to move. Best thing we can do on offense is force the defense to move. Make them move and try to cover depth and width as much as we can. Get them moving sideways. Makes it harder for them to cover back. Get them moving back. It's harder for them to cover sideways. So we want to get them to move to gain an advantage. So as we come back here, well, what am I going to do on a choice route? What I'm going to do is I'm going to stem outside first, because we used to always say on the choice route that, hey, if you can win outside, because there's no other bodies for the quarterback to worry about inside, so win outside. So I'm going to stem outside, because if I stem 2 to 3 yards outside, what's it do? First thing that it does is it gives me leverage on the linebacker. So right now I'm winning. The only thing he can do to counter that is to move 2 to 3 yards hard outside as well. So I move outside, he comes running outside. Now that's what gives me the ability to break back underneath him, to hook back to the inside. But I get him moving is the most important thing, because then I can make a read. If I run straight at him, he's not going to do anything. A good defender's not going to just panic and drop back 5 yards or panic and run outside. He's going to wait for you to do something before he does something. So that's where it starts, is he just matches right to him. Okay, what's the other factor? Remember what's behind you. Anytime we run a concept, we always want to remember what's behind us. So what's behind us? The in route is behind us there, right? So if I know that there's an in route behind me, what else do I want to do? What does the widening do now? If I go widen, yes, I'm trying to win on the choice route, but if it takes this linebacker with me, if he widens too, what's it do? Opens up the window for the in on the inside. It stretches that linebacker to go, oh, you want to get width? Now you've just opened up a bigger window so I can help with the timing and spacing for the end back behind it. Here, they run straight up. Patrick Queen just waits, and he matches right to that. I don't have the in up over the top of it. We got nothing here, and now CJ's got to create. Good job by the back and CJ creating here, but this seemed to be more of a theme throughout the day is that, hey, we got to create to make plays. Don't want to have to create to make plays, okay? All right, the next one. They run kind of a similar thing down here. So what I want you to notice is the tight end. Watch what he does. And it's not a definitive seam outside, push vertical, which is what I like. I like to seam to get this guy moving. And then once you push vertical, now they hesitate and now they want to go vertical. Then you break out. That's when you can separate. You get their feet moving, you get their body leaning in one direction, then you separate from it. That's why I like the movement. But the tight end does a nice job here of just leaning to the outside. So he's gaining his width as he goes, and he's gaining leverage on the backer as he goes. And you see, gains his leverage. See how he's falling outside? Now Patrick Queen, and even as he pushes vertical, I don't know if you can see it, but Patrick Queen just at one step starts to go vertical, and that's enough to give me separation. So we hit it to this side. We get a nice completion right there. I love it, okay? But I really want to talk about the front side. We're running an under combination. You'll see this under combination numerous times throughout this tape. Okay, under combination. When do I like the under combination? Well, I like it when we get two high safeties. Got two high safeties here. But I like it when there's only one underneath defender to that side. So normally you get a too high look and you normally put your back over to the other side so I can pull these linebackers both to that side. And then I've got one underneath defender to that side. I can read him on the high-low against any too high look. So that's the other part of the equation on this play is I'm just asking. I'm always asking questions. Why? Why do you put your back over there? Why is your back to that side? And he's checking first, and then he's coming right into the route concept that you're trying to run. We've already got two guys coming inside. I don't want to put a third guy right in the mix. So now we've got two guys going to the same area, which makes it easy for the defense, right? So what does it do, right? Back over to this side, brings the Mike linebacker to that side. I already told you I only want to throw the under when I've got one defender to that side. Well, now I've got two. I brought him over there by putting my back over there. Not only that, but then my back stays in the same zones that I'm attacking with my receivers. So now those two defenders, Hamilton and Roquan, can basically cover all three of these guys with two of them. Now, Kyle Hamilton here wants to chase the in, and so as you see it, we actually have a throw right there to the under out here. But we're bringing these guys to the party. So I just ask, why? If on the backside, I'm assuming this backside choice route by the tight end has no ability to break inside, right? He doesn't have any chance to break inside because we've got all this stuff coming inside. So he's got to go outside. So I would simply ask, why is the back not over here? We're going to break out here and run away. Put your back right back to the inside here. So if the Mike linebacker now wants to go to that side, I'm not going to read the under, but I'm going to read this backside linebacker. He goes wide to the choice. I recover to the back, right? He holds inside with the back. I throw it to the choice on the outside. Or we bring Patrick Queen over here to cover the out. We bring Roquan over here to cover the back. Now what do we got? We've got 2-on-1 on Hamilton over here, and we're in a perfect situation for success. Why is the back over there? What does the back give you going to that side that makes it a positive or a plus on this play? All I see are negatives on this play on bringing the back over here. So I'm just simply asking the question, why? And those things become so vital and so important, and it seems like a little thing. Does it really matter which way the back goes, right? Does it really matter? Can he go to either side? And what? Yeah, it does matter because it's affecting what the defense is doing, where they're going, what the read is for the quarterback. All of those little things become so important. Okay? All right, the next one. I've talked about it in numerous different clips that I've done, but we're going to chip the tight end here, okay? No problem with chipping. There's a place for chipping to help protect your quarterback and give him extra time. One thing I always say with chipping is, first thing is Don't ever chip a guy if he can't get to the spot that you need him to be in for the concept. So if you need a guy to chip and get all the way to the flat outside the numbers, you got to make sure he can do it. If he's going to chip and not get outside the numbers, and I'll just draw this up. I got a curl route here, and I need him to get outside the numbers to pull the flat defender outside the numbers so I can throw the curl, then I can't chip. It screws up the whole route and read for the quarterback if I don't get my guy to the responsibility that he needs to have on a pass concept, okay? So that's the first thing about chipping. Okay, the second thing about chipping is you got a tight end here ready to chip the defensive end. But as I rewind it, what we need to understand is this is my biggest problem on this play for a quarterback, okay? I need to see my protection out the front side. So tight end, chipping is going to become secondary. Yes, we're calling it chip because we want you to chip, but it's secondary. You have to see if that outside guy brings pressure. If he brings pressure, we need you to do one of two things. If we told you that we want you to protect, then I need you to go and protect that guy off the edge so I don't have an issue for my quarterback. If I haven't told you that I want you to protect, I need you to see this guy so then if he comes, I need you to release right now and give me a hot throw so I can answer the question of that outside protection. If you lose vision on him, it's going to cause a problem. Here it is. I've lost vision on him. I stepped down to chip. Now he comes. Now I'm trying to recover to him, and I can't, and there's no place, vertical, there's no place for CJ to throw the football right here. So one of those two things have to happen. And because he's bouncing back out, I'm assuming that they probably told the tight end, hey, you've got to block that Sam defender. But the whole key is see the Sam defender first. Take a step back and see the Sam defender. He doesn't come, now step down and chip. But see that Sam defender first. Right now we're worried more about the chip. We go down to get the chip, we miss the protection, and now we're getting an intentional grounding early in the game, and it's a huge play in the game because we don't have answers set up for it. Got to always have answers. Got to understand the big picture. And these were the little things that I saw throughout the game. The little details that separate you. When you're playing against good teams, you better be on top of it. Okay? So here's a situation where the Ravens knew they were going to bring pressure. They're going to bring both linebackers to the backside. Okay? We got it protected. We've got 6 guys to block 6 guys, so we're good. Okay? We've got a little quick out right here, and then we're going to kind of work back. We're going to work back from there. Okay? So if I'm CJ and they're bringing pressure, biggest thing is know where my quick throw is. Don't panic with the pressure. Now he's going to slide away from the pressure. Now that's a common thing. Do it all the time as quarterbacks. We feel and we know the pressure's coming from one direction. We're going to slide away from it while we're trying to make a read. The only key when we're doing that is I still have to be set and ready to throw it to my initial read. So here's my initial read. The quick out to the outside, the choice route, whatever it is, that's my initial read. Throw it. Throw it. You've got it. It's open. But CJ, falling away from the pressure, isn't ready to throw it. Now by the time he gets set, he's too late, and once again, we're playing off schedule, trying to create against a really, really good defense. Tough to live in that world when there's things open. These are what I call the layups. Okay, the first read is open. Got to get back. You got to see it. You got to get it out of your hands against good teams. You got to take these layups because if you're playing and missing the layups and trying to create and make plays on top of it, there's just usually not enough plays out there and there. They miss a play. It was a great throw, great job moving. Should have been a completion, but it wasn't. And it's because everything is harder when we're having to play off schedule. So we only want to do that the least amount possible to be successful. There was a play to be had early on. Fade away from the pressure, get your feet ready, and take that number one throw and have success. But this seemed to be the key. As good as CJ's been all year, even against pressure, it just seemed like the situation forced him to play a little faster, with a little less poise than I've seen throughout the year. And it's typical. Go on the road. Number 1 seed. Really good defense. Does a lot of different things. Makes you think about a lot of different things. And he got away from playing the strong, solid football that he played all year, specifically taking the things that were in front of him and playing ball. Great job right here. They bring pressure. We got a hot. Got to have an answer. Love it. We got an answer. Get it out of our hands. This is going to be key. Anybody that plays the Ravens are going to bring pressure. Can you hit them with the hots? And then not only hit them with the hots, but make them pay when you do it. Okay, so here it is. Boom. We got a hot. There's a situation. We got 1-on-1. this guy, if your offense has to win that one-on-one battle against the Ravens, when they force you to throw it quick, can you win that one-on-one battle and make something happen? Great job here. Nico Collins, good job by CJ. See the pressure, get it out, have an answer. Now he makes somebody miss and gets a big play off the pressure. If you can't do this, because you see it, 3rd and long, right? That's what they're going to do. 3rd and long, they're going to force you to throw it quick because they don't believe that you can make them miss. They're going to rally, they're fast, and they're going to make the tackle before the 1st down. Great job here by the Texans of having that answer, getting it out, and then somebody making a play to get the 1st down. All right, so this play here is a typical play that everybody runs, deep post, and then an over route. Details. Talk about details all the time, right? Details. So I want you to watch it. The ball is on the 27-yard line right here, okay? So ball's on the 27-yard line, and I'm going to run this, and we're going to watch the top receiver, okay? Top receiver's pushing vertical now. Okay, now he starts to come across the field. Okay, so that's about the 47-yard line. So that's 20 yards. He pushes vertical 20 yards before he starts to cross the field. Okay, so what, Kurt? What does that mean? Why is that a big deal? Okay, it's a big deal because there's a timing for the quarterback. And the quarterback is looking to throw this post first, and he's reading this safety. Okay, so when he gets back there, the timing to the post, okay, 7 steps, usually 1 hitch. I need to have my read on that safety by the time I get to 7 and 1 hitch. If it takes longer than that, then my timing is all off, and it's telling me I don't have the post. If I have to wait longer, I don't have the post. Now I need to get to the over. The problem is, normally we want these overs to seam inside and get across the field, so we're hitting it at 18 to 22 over by the numbers, outside the hash, over by the number. So I need him to get across the field because A, that's where I want to throw it, and B, that's what influences this guy. This guy's got to decide, oh, there's an over coming here. These other 2 defenders over here should pass him off. So that safety has to decide, do I want to jump the over? Do I want to chase the post? And now the timing gets back to what we want it to be. CJ's back, he's hitching. He's ready to throw the post. This guy says, nope, you don't have the post. It's dead. But watch that guy. Because we pushed the in or the over so far up, what's that guy do? That safety covers both of them. He covers both guys. He's still in position to take the over here because he held off the post long enough. CJ can't wait any longer. He's already running out of the pocket. And because we pushed it up so vertical to the front side, he's still in position to hold leverage and take that away and force us what? Once again, to play off schedule and to have to make a play, a special play on the move against a good defense. Okay, so I put another one on here. They ran it twice in the game. Here we go, post. Here we go, over. Okay, watch how Nico runs this one. Much better this time. So he goes inside first, okay? And then he starts to get over there. So again, we'll mesh it out. So it's 25-yard line. Okay, so let's see when Nico, there. Okay, so Nico starts to break over there, okay? Right there about that 16 to 17-yard marker. What did we say? We want to get over here, 18 to 22. Do not want to push up here to 20 and then get across. Okay, so 18 to 22. And you see, post is out of there. Now, again, we didn't block it very well up front, but you see where this is coming. You see the opportunity to get over there and get this play, even off of the movement. If CJ can see it, it's wide open over here because the timing was much better. I could even use Nico coming even a little bit quicker and getting over here, for timing purposes. But we actually tried to chip Van Noy here with the tight end, and then he splits 2 offensive linemen and messes this all up. But you see kind of the timing of the feet with CJ. 1 hitch right there. He's almost in position to hit this if they're protected up front, but just different details on those 2 plays, and it makes a huge difference. How far we push up, how quickly we get that read and that cross so the quarterback can see it and move forward, okay? So we're going to run a play here where it's vertical, hesitation, come to the middle. On this side, we're going to run a curl, and then a one step over here. Okay, so it's an empty set, and I talk about empty protections all the time. Okay, so for me, with empty protections, I always like to protect to the 2 receiver side. So again, we got 1, 2, 3 up here, 1, 2 down on the bottom. So I like to protect away from the 3 receivers. So I would like the offensive lineman to slide this way and pick up Patrick Queen right here, who's going to end up blitzing. So now Roquan Smith becomes my hot guy, but I like my hot guy to be to the 3 receiver side because I'm going to have a vertical. I can throw the hot to the vertical. I'm going to have a vertical stop right here. I can throw the hot to the stop, and then I'm going to have an under over here. So depending on how fast it is, I could have my hot over there. So they bring it to the front side. I got 3 different options based on what a defense is doing, or at least 2 different options based off what a defense is doing that give me a better chance than if I've only got 1 hot. So down here, I can't really wait for that. So all I've got is this 1 step over here on the outside. And so it's much easier to cover 1 hot with 2 guys over here than it is to cover 2 hots on the other side. So I would like to protect it the other way. So they don't. So Patrick Queen is coming hot. I only got 1 option. The only thing I got is this one right here to this guy. Okay? And then the other thing I would say is I'm not sure why he's bouncing back. So look at the 1 step on the outside. Look at him jump 3 yards back. So we're going to throw a hot because he's the only guy we have. Now we're going to throw it 3 yards, so he's going to catch it 3 yards deep in the backfield. And so he's got to gain 3 yards after the catch just to get back to the line of scrimmage. Then he's got to make somebody else miss and do something positive. What I would like to see him do is I'd like to see him engage 1 step in and then just hang right on the line of scrimmage. So at least when we complete it, we're back to the line of scrimmage and everything else is a bonus. Now it's a good hot here. I mean, we're getting the ball out of our hands. We're beating the pressure, but he's waiting. This guy is one-on-one. Now we've got to make somebody miss again. Maybe gets out of 1, but then everybody's coming to the party and we maybe get a yard out of this. Again, look at the front side. If Roquan comes here, okay, we've got vertical, we've got a pop. So I see the options that we have. There it is, boom. So again, Roquan's in the way, but you see there's a quick throw right there. Get it out of our hands. Right now, we've got a positive play, but we're putting pressure on them because as this guy goes vertical and this guy goes vertical, these guys are trying to figure out, okay, who do I cover? What do I need to do here? Because we've got 2 guys coming at him instead of just 1 guy. And then they force us to make a hot throw, and then we're not able to get any of those big plays off of the hot throw. So this becomes kind of the theme. They're going to force you to pressure, or they're going to force pressure, and they're going to force you to throw it quick. It's really a great job here by CJ. It's kind of the things that you saw all year long. So they're going to run a big in to this side, guy down the middle, and then a deep curl. Okay, so when you see this coverage right off the bat, okay, what I'm seeing is I'm seeing this safety sitting in here. So I got a big in here. I'm telling myself, well, I don't have that big in. Safety sitting right there. I got to go back to the other side. But CJ does a great job of verifying that safety does what he's showing. And so what I mean by verify, I got to verify that he's going to stay there. On this play, he turns and actually looks up this vertical to the other side. So he pushes to the front side. CJ sees that, does a nice job of sliding in the pocket and then replacing him with that big in as he manipulates this underneath linebacker. Only possible if he sees this backside safety and sees him cheat to the front side. Really, really well done, understanding the big picture. Hey, I'm going to verify him. I got time. He stays back here, no problem. Now I'm going to read this curl flat to the front side. I get him to push and move. Boom, replace him with that slide and that big throw down the field. One of the few big throws that they got in this game. But really well done by CJ on that one. Okay, here's what the Ravens do. Bringing pressure, bringing pressure, bringing pressure. Nope, he's going to pop out, bring the pressure back to the other side, get you to get your eyes in the wrong spot. But really well done right here. No, you got it picked up to the front side. Boom. Isolate Kyle Hamilton. What's he do? He pushes past the hook right now. Look how quickly CJ's getting it out. This is what he was so good at all year. Didn't do it quite as well in this game, but this was how their offense was built. Come back, see it, get the ball out of your hands. Look how quickly he gets it out of his hands against the pressure, and we get a big play on a short throw because we're on top of it. We understand what we're seeing. Hit that back foot, get the ball out. Really, really well done on that play, and it's what you got to do against the Ravens. You got to see it. You got to get it out of your hands. You got to know what's going on and know where your quick throws are. Okay? So here on the top, we're going to run what a lot of people call dragon. I call it combo. So it is a flat and a slant. Okay? So we're looking for a one high look, one safety back here. We want to read that outside linebacker, and we want to try to throw the slant. If he holds it off, then we come back to the flat. Okay? So CJ goes back, and he's looking for the slant. Okay? He's looking for the slant. And as we run it, you see it. There's the slant. There it is. It's open. We got to hit that right there. But details. Okay, details. Now I look at Nico. Now I'm not sure Nico was right, but I'm going to look at him on the outside, and he runs a 3-step slant. Okay, so second outside foot. Outside foot, inside foot, outside foot. So that is a normal slant for us, a 5-step quick slant for us. So if that's the case, then what I need Robert Woods to do here is get out of there. You're going to watch him as he goes, he pushes up. He pushes up, tries to set up this defender, and then go to the flat. I don't need you to set up that defender. I need you to clear that defender out. So let's run this. Watch him. Set up, set up, set up, and then try to separate. So what I always say on any particular concept that we have is I'm not trying to get everybody open. I'm trying to get somebody open. Not trying to get everybody open. I'm trying to get somebody open. Trying to get this slant open. The only way I can get that slant open is for you to take this linebacker out of here as fast as you possibly can so I can rip it right off his ear and get a completion right here. Pushing up the field and buying time and trying to separate like, hey, I'm going to set him up and I'm going to win to the flat. I don't need you to win to the flat. I need you to get to the flat because I want to win on the outside. Okay, now there's times, hey, it's double press. Man, it would have been nice if he set his guy up and won. But we've got to understand why we're running this play. It's designed against zone. It's designed to have corner off on the outside and hit the slant back behind it. But pushing up the field holds this off long enough that it creates pressure. Now CJ, who is set and ready to go, watch. He's set, ready to go. I want to throw it. Can't throw it. Why? Because this guy's sitting here and you haven't given me a read because you haven't got outside the numbers or to the flat fast enough. Boom. Now it leads us to having to create once again, having to make plays on the run. And you look here and you go, oh man, there's a play to be made. But this is where it's hard. It makes it harder to play the game when you're constantly trying to make plays on the move because you miss plays. Everybody's moving. There's miscommunication. What's he going to do? All of that stuff. Where we had a layup, we had an easy throw on the slant, and we missed it because of the details on it, okay? Here's another one. They're coming after us with the pressure. We've got a stick concept. So a stick inside and a flat or an out with number 2. So we got 2 quick throws to the right-hand side. As we run it back, we've got 6 blockers. They've only got 6 defenders against our 6 blockers. We're fine. We're not hot. We don't have to panic. Yes, they're bringing pressure, but we don't have to panic. Again, this is where CJ was off a little bit in this game, is that they're bringing pressure, and look at him. Right away, he's falling away. You don't have to fall away. It's picked up. You're good. You got a great pocket. You got 2 throws coming. Settle in and make one of the throws. Here, he's moving, tries to make one of the throws on the run, falling away, and we miss an opportunity right there for a completion. And I don't know. I don't know if we get the first down or not. I think if we get it to this guy, we get the first down. And that's probably what he's going to do if he doesn't panic and think we're hot. Because I'm going to read this defender. That defender runs. I'm probably going to replace in here to the tight end, and maybe we get the first down at that point. But falling away, right, getting a little impatient, playing a little fast, and it leads to another incompletion right there. So you see, they've been good all year long. This game just seemed to make them play differently than they've played all year long. All right, so I already talked about one with the back going to the front side. So here, we're going to run kind of a similar concept. So we've got an in or a middle route right there. We're going to run a return. So we start out, and then we're going to come back, and then we're going to run a one-step over here to this side. So we've got 3 guys coming inside to that side. Good concept. We're looking for anything where we've got 2 underneath defenders over there, and we can read those 2 underneath defenders against our 3 guys coming inside. But once again, why are we bringing the back over here? Why are we bringing the back to the party? We're bringing an extra guy. We're bringing an extra body. We're allowing them to be able to cover 4 of us with 3 defenders. Okay? Never want to do that. We always want to force them and put them in a bind. So maybe we say, okay, Patrick Queen is stepping up here. The back is going to protect him. Okay, no problem. Step up to protect him. If he doesn't come, then get back out here to the back side. So just watch this one. Okay, as we run it, the back comes flying over here, and then he checks out here. Watch Patrick Queen. Patrick Queen does what? Patrick Queen meshes to the back. So Patrick Queen now is in the way of all of this stuff right here, and we can't read it. We're bringing extra guys to the party, and the question becomes why? Okay, so now again, the back's coming back out to this side. Okay, so he breaks out to this side. So maybe that was it. Maybe he just overstepped too far and then tried to get back here, but that is so important. So important. I get it. Step over there, but then be conscious enough to get back over here. So if I'm CJ and I want to read it to the front side here, I want to read Roquan. What's he do? He settles. I want to try to hit this back, the in up over the top of him. Right there, I want to try to hit that. I'd like to see that guy come a little bit flatter, but again, that's one of those that some teams teach it that we're going to run kind of an angle to the middle. Other ones teach it, we want you to come flat there. Flat would obviously be better, so we're not taking ourselves into the safety, but however you teach it, the back, it becomes vital for the check down. Now, another nice job on the move, make a play, great catch by Schultz, but you see how much of this game was played off schedule by the Texans, really making it hard on them, okay? So here we go, okay? So we've been talking about this under concept. So we're going to run the under concept another time. Now we got the back outside. He's going to run the under, okay? So this plays to what I was talking about earlier, is that you see, what are we doing? So just like having the back check down to the top, we've got 3 receivers to the top. That third receiver is going to take the Mike linebacker with him. Whether it's the back or third receiver, we get the Mike to turn over there, which does what? Gives us the high-low on the one backer that's inside on the weak side. Boom. It's exactly what I want, okay? If for some reason Roquan decided to go over here, now I no longer like the under, but I gain my advantage back over here because they've got one less guy to my 3 receivers. So we're trying to pull him to the other side, okay? As we run this, here's the other problem. Look at my 2 receivers over here running the under, okay? Now, see how they're stacked on top of each other, okay? So this one defender has the ability to cover both of them because they're stacked on top of each other. Now, here's where the details become so important. If Nico Collins is running this at 18 yards, and then my back is running this at 5 to 6 yards, that's okay if their timing is the same and they're stacked on top of each other because I can throw the ball over that linebacker. Now the linebacker, it's all about depth. Does he get a lot of depth? If he does, I throw it underneath. If he doesn't get a lot of depth and holds here, now I can throw it over him to run the in route. Okay, so now that we're running under, but this guy's running it at 12 yards and this guy's running it at 5 yards, now it no longer is an up and over throw, and now it's an in and out throw. What I mean by an in and out throw, meaning I want my 2 receivers to be in different spots, one further inside than the other one. So now we get a stretch on the linebacker. So what I would normally do is I'd want my under to be wider, or I'd want him to widen and be under control. So I want him at the top of the numbers when I throw it to him. That's where I want him on this. And then we've got the 12-yard in that I'm going to throw on the hash. So now we're forcing Patrick Queen to cover from hash to numbers. If he holds inside with width on the hash, boom, ball is thrown to the inside edge of the numbers right now, and we win. If Patrick Queen wants to push outside to take away the numbers, we've just opened up the window to throw to the hash. And so you could say, I've got an in and an under, right? And if it's a deep in and an under, now I can have them stacked and I can mess with the depth of that linebacker. If it's a short in, the 12-yard in with an under, now I need them at different spots so I can attack the width of the linebacker. So details like that are so important in understanding what the read is for the quarterback. One read is depth. The other read is width. So what I really want is I want my back to get wider here, to get wider and stay wider and attack under control here so I can get this in. Because you see Patrick Queen comes and attacks with width. He comes almost out there to the numbers. So if I'm still wide here and I'm coming to the numbers, I almost guarantee you Patrick Queen is going to stay out here on the numbers and we're going to hit this in back behind him. But because the under happens quicker, what does Patrick Queen do? Patrick Queen comes off the numbers and back inside to squeeze this window to the in route and make it tough on us. Make us have to throw it around him. Obviously, we're moving again with the pressure, which makes us a little bit late. And now the safety's able to jump on it. Details, 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 details. Why? Why are we in that split? What are we doing with that split? How does it help us? What's the read for the quarterback? Always got to ask yourself on every concept, what's the read for the quarterback? Oh, the read is depth. So I don't care if they're stacked on top of each other. Oh, the read is width. They cannot be stacked on top of each other or my quarterback is going to be in a bind. Okay? Guess what? We're going to run the under concept again. Okay? We're going to run the under concept again. I've said it numerous times on here. The under concept is designed for a too high safety look. A too high safety look when I've got one defender underneath to that side. That's why I don't want the back to that side because I bring a second defender, right? 1, 2. I bring a second defender over there, which gives me problems. Okay, so I don't want the back over there. We've talked about this, talked about it earlier. So if I'm running the normal under, I'm going to put the back to the other side, and I am going to try to bring Roquan Smith over to that other side with the back, and then I'm going to isolate this defender high-low with the under. Okay, so it's a cover 2 beater. It's a too high beater in that case because in a too high situation, we're only going to have one underneath defender here. Okay, now we've decided to run under and bring the back over here and run them on a swing. Okay, now the first thing that it does is it tells me as a quarterback, I'm going to bring the Mike linebacker over there. So if we're going to do this kind of concept, which we can still do this concept, it changes the complete read for me as a quarterback. That no longer am I reading this against cover 2. Well, why aren't you reading it against cover 2 now? Well, I already told you that we're bringing the Mike to the party. But we're bringing the Mike to the party, so he's in great position to cover the in route. We're bringing the Sam, who's going to be over here anyways, who's in great position to cover the under. And we also have a corner out here who's in great position to cover the swing. So what was good against cover 2 because we were bringing the Mike linebacker to the other side. We weren't bringing anybody to the flat, and we were isolating 2 receivers inside on 1 outside linebacker. Now it no longer is good against that because they've got 3 guys over here in the exact same positions where we've got 3 guys. So if we're going to run this under with the swing to that side, now my read as a quarterback is any coverage where this corner is off. So now this corner is back, okay? Visualize that corner is playing a deep area of the field, deep third, deep half. Okay, so now that gives me what? 2 defenders underneath to this side, not 3. In cover 2, we got 3 over there. In anything with the corner off, we've got 2 defenders over there. So now I've got 3 guys attacking 2 guys. So I gained the advantage back over here when the corner is off, and I've got 2 underneath defenders. So how would I read it then? Well, I would read the Mike linebacker first. So if I'm running down the middle and the Mike linebacker gets depth, great. Now the outside linebacker, who's he going to cover? Is he going to cover the under? Is he going to cover the swing? That becomes my read. If initially this Mike linebacker pushes, the Sam linebacker pushes, and they push to cover the under and the swing, now my throw is back to the end, but I've gained the advantage back. But why it's so important is because now CJ is looking at this concept completely different. Yes, we have under on the outside. Is it a 2-man under? Is it a 3-man under? Okay, if it's a 2-man under, I'm looking for any 2 high safety look and 1 underneath defender inside. If it's a 3-man under, now I'm looking for any corner off with 2 linebackers to that side to gain the advantage. Still under on both sides, coach. Yes, it is. But because of what we did with the back, it changes the read for you. Okay, so with that, we're going to run over here to this backside. Okay, we're going to run what I call GOAT. Okay, so it's a go and an out. Okay, it's an out and a go. Okay, so why do I mention this? Because the GOAT concept to me is not a good concept against cover two, okay? Because in cover two, you've got a corner out here, you got a backer in here, so this guy's really covered by two. You've got a solo hole shot here, but this guy's got nobody else to threaten him, so he can go cover that go route. So it's not a cover two beater to me. Well, normally you would say, well, that's okay because GOAT's over there for any corner off, but then under is over here for any too high. What did we just talk about? It's not a too high beater anymore because we put the back over there. So now this side over here becomes the corner off beater. What I want on the top is a cover two beater. So what would I do? I'd run this guy still on the out, and now I'd run this guy on a corner. So if I get cover two, I'm going to high-low that corner at the top, the out to the corner, boom. If I get any corner off, which obviously is not cover two to the front side, now I can read my in to my under to my swing. The unfortunate part here is that neither one of these concepts is good against cover two, in my opinion. So now we get cover two, and CJ doesn't have an answer but to jam it in to the out route against cover two. And you see it right there, squeeze, boom. There's nothing over there other than to fit it in because we don't really have a good concept. Now, they screw it up down here on the bottom, right? What is this corner doing? Why are you chasing? Just stay there and cover the swing, and you've got this covered with these three defenders. They screw it up, which happens. Probably could have kicked it to the swing over here, but he didn't know that, right? That's not what they're supposed to be doing. They've got three guys there to cover it. Not a great concept against cover two. And so that's the question you always have to ask yourself. Okay? If it's not a good concept, Kurt, what are you going to do? How are you going to adjust it? What's the goal? The goal is to give your quarterback an option against every coverage. And so they've got a way to win against every coverage. So you have to understand and delineate between a two-man under, a three-man under. What does it do? What problems does it give me? How do I need to counter those problems to the other side with my concept? Details. Details are so important, okay? We talked about this, always being prepared for the pressure against the Ravens. They are going to bring it. Don't know where it's coming from. So what you have to do as a quarterback is always know where your hot guy is. Okay, so we got 6 protectors. Here, we're going to protect the backside. Protect the backside. There's my hot guy. So CJ, that's the only guy you have to see. Don't worry about the rest of them. They should be protected. That's the guy. If this guy comes, what are you doing with the football? We've got a quick out right here. So I'm coming off as soon as I get the football. I am ready because of the look to throw the quick out. Catch it, set. Set and throw it. Set and throw it. Set and throw it. Okay? Again, you're going to get hit, right? They're bringing an all-out pressure. You're going to get hit. Set and throw this timing-wise to the out. That's your option. Don't try to play and think you're going to make a play off schedule. Great move right there, but here we are, right? Again, it becomes a negative play. We don't have options. Trying to play off schedule when there's a quick throw in front of you, got to be ready for it. Got to be ready for it against these guys. You got to have your answer. Got to be poised and in your mind saying, oh, I know if that guy comes, I'm setting and I'm laying my quick out there because that's the throw that I've got. All right, going with another empty set right here. Okay, so we saw this play a little bit earlier. Hook, one step, down the middle, hesitation, under, go. Okay, so with these two concepts, once again, I'm looking for corner off to the top. Okay, so I get corner off, then I'm going to read Patrick Queen. What does he do? Does he get depth? Great, throw your one step. If he doesn't get depth and he gets width, now throw your hook back behind it. So we get a corner off on the top, so let's look at that one first. Boom, there it is. There it is. I get him to move with width. There's the throw. CJ, right there. Throw you've been making all year long. Playing fast. A little bit impatient. Missed the opportunity in front of it. Okay? All right, so the other side. Okay, this is very similar to the under that we talked about, right? So let's just look at this. The in, the under, and the under. So we're really attacking those same type of zones, those 3 zones to the front side that we were attacking with the under, right? So this becomes very similar to a 3-man under. Got a guy working kind of that flat area. We've got 2 guys working the underneath zone. So same idea. I'm looking to attack this when I've got 2 defenders to that side. Got 2 defenders to that side because the corner's off. So I'm in great shape here. Read the Mike linebacker. Oh, he gets depth right now. Great. I'm ready to throw this. If the outside linebacker squeezes to that, then we recover inside. So let's look at this to the front side now. Okay, get Roquan to chase and get depth. Boom. There's our replace right there. Kyle Hamilton, if he chases it, there's our next throw to the outside. So could read it either way, but there's the opportunity right in front of you. Got to take it. Got to hit it. Again, off schedule. Off schedule, off schedule, off schedule. Okay? Here comes the under concept again. Now we're here. What did I say earlier? What are we looking for when we're attacking with an under? We're looking for one defender underneath to that side. Oh, wait. What do they got? Two defenders underneath to that side. So, boom, I'm dead. I'm not reading that over anymore because we've got a guy that can take away the in. We've got a guy that can take away the under. Doesn't mean they do it, but they've got and they're set up to be able to take it away. So on the other side, remember we had that stick that CJ missed earlier. We're going to set this up off of the stick and we're going to run stump. It's a stick pump and then it's a return coming off of it. Okay? So I don't like the under to the backside. I got to read it to the front side. What's my read to the front side? Roquan Smith. Boom. Does he stay down and take the stump? Or does he jump the stick so it gives me the stump? Or does he drop deep to take the stump? Then I recover to the return. So nice job here. CJ does a nice job of working the safety. Roquan right there jumps, hesitates. Boom. There's the stump throw right there. I love the read. Just again, it was just one of those games where all the stuff that they'd been doing all year long, they just didn't do it. They just played fast. They played a little bit off in this game. And they missed the opportunity for a big play there. Even though I love the read, I love the way he worked the safety. It was just kind of the theme of the day, just not working out in their favor. Okay, so here we go. Last play on here once again. Ravens come up. They've got 5 guys on the line of scrimmage. Okay, so those 5 offensive linemen are going to block those 5 guys. So I'm hot off of one of these 2 guys if I'm CJ. Okay, can't really bring Queen on the backside unless they pop someone out because they don't have an extra guy there. So what they're going to do is they're going to bring the front side pressure, drop the safety down and play blitz 0. Okay, so there's 2 options you have if you're CJ against this blitz. Okay, I know the hot guy's coming here. This is like 3rd and 6 for them. You can say, hey, I know the hot guy's coming, but I've got a somewhat quick throw over here, maybe a little deeper throw that I'm going to take, and I'm going to beat the pressure with the throw to the backside. That's what he tries to do on the skinny back here to the tight end, tries to beat it right before he gets hit, and they miss, okay? Now, there's no problem with that. Done it a million times, seen a lot of guys do it a million times, but the problem is you don't have time to wait and see if it's open. So what you're going to see is they're going to squat at the sticks, and they're going to bang Schultz right at the top of his route, right? So watch. Right there, boom, bangs him right there. That little bang takes off the timing and messes this up where now we're going to miss. And so that becomes the problem. If I don't have pressure and I'm CJ, now I can get back there, hold on the back foot, see if he comes off of this pressure, and then drive the football in there. I don't have that luxury when I've got pressure and I've got to just hit and throw. Hit and throw and hope that I get it clean, don't get it clean. Normal rule of thumb, see pressure, attack pressure. Okay, so up top, what they're going to do is they're going to run a vertical, they're going to run a pop, and they're going to run a flat. So see pressure, attack pressure. I got 3 guys up there. Again, in a hot situation, 3 guys, tough to cover, 3 guys with the hot. So as we play it out, boom. Okay, so they're trying to mesh it off, figure it all out, and we get this flat right here. That would be the throw. That would be the hot throw into the pressure that we would take. And then quarterbacks, if this is the case, hey, you got to let the play work for you. You got to let your playmakers work for you. Get the ball out to the flat. I don't know. Okay, here's where the sticks are right here. If I get the ball out to the flat right now, he's got to gain that 3 yards for me to get the first down. Play dictates, I got to get it out hot. I got to get it to my guy. I got to find the right hot, get it to Nico up here, and let him go one-on-one with Kyle Hamilton, and he's got to make a play for you. Now, they do end up dropping this guy here. I don't know if you're going to have time with the hot to see all that happen and then throw that for the big play, but you see why it's harder with 3 guys trying to mesh with 3 guys and how they leave guys open because they're trying to guess where these different guys in the bunch are going. So maybe you can hold it and throw the deep one because you know ahead of time there's nobody in the middle of the field, but it's hard to know that they're going to drop it. I'm coming out here taking this flat right now, get it on him quick and let him turn the corner and get the first down for me. But this was really the theme of the day, playing fast, a little bit off for the Texans, and they just seemed like, as great as the year was for them, they were just a little overwhelmed in this moment. Hey, I think they're ahead of schedule anyways, but maybe a year away from really competing with the best teams in the league, and you saw it just a little bit off, not hitting things they normally hit, playing a little bit fast at the quarterback position for a rookie quarterback, all stuff that is more than expected, as you come into environments like that. But that was really the difference in where the growth needs to be made as they move into kind of year two, in this regime.